So we just got off the line with Curly Daddy 101. A little chat, and one of the things he brought up was he made this video about Gemini. Now, people who don't know the history of myself and Gemini, it is a bit extensive. I'm not going to go through everything. I'm going to go through a bit, though, as we get into this, this bit. I'll go through it. I have a playlist on Papa Gut Archives, that's what it's called now, where I chat about Gemini. There's a lot here. Don't worry, I'm going to sum it up a bit, but this is basically all the references for all like the situation going on with him. I talked to Tuv about it because at one point, he got a couple of a little bit of information incorrect about it in one of the videos. That was a cool conversation. He's a nice guy. So yeah, what sparked this is Gemini returned a while ago, but he's starting to pop again. I think Curly was worried about this video here. 11.7 million views. This was somewhat recent, from a week ago. I'm looking at this in the private mode because he has me blocked on my account. And so he made a video about it. So let's see what he has to say, and let's see what I have to add. Let's do this.
GeminiOfficial is back on TikTok making videos. He got a video that got freaking, goodness gracious, like a lot of views. Here's the video that he got a lot of views on. He does the, can I have a peppermint? You can have a peppermint. This is the video he made that got a lot of views.
Light skin music.
The comments are brutal. Bro's trying to riz his way into middle school. Bro's rizzing up the kindergarten class, and what's scary is this guy is going along with the jokes that he is a pedophile, which is...
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Isn't that what EDP is doing now? I mean, EDP feels... EDP has been feeling pretty emboldened by what's happening, and now he's at a point where he's just making jokes out of it, going on lives and eating cupcakes, and he's feeling emboldened. And to be honest with you, I think that is what's giving Gemini the feeling of feeling emboldened. He is the EDP of TikTok. He did the same thing. He's happened when he was at like 3 million or so followers. I mean, it's incredible.
It's absolutely freaking wild and a new take on it. Anyways, I made a video on it.
More light skin music.
POV Gemini when he sees a minor. It's not funny because he's actually hit on minors before, but...
And the comments genuinely surprised me. A lot of people are saying, forget about it. It's in the past. Y'all are still talking about this? You're still on that? Brother in Christ, it was 2 years ago. I love you, dude, but why are you making a video about this? Proof, though? You can't just be throwing around accusations. Somebody said, look it up on YouTube. Yeah, look it up on YouTube what happened, dude. Can we move on from it? Can we move on from GeminiOfficial? Dude, can we just move on from the pedophile? There is...
So the problem here is that, like, there's a lot when it goes to Gemini, right? I know the whole story because I was involved. It started when he was 20, and a girl that was 16 tried to, like, catch him. He's like, I'm gonna talk to the new EDP. This was like years ago. I'm gonna try to trap him basically into like chatting with me and flirting with me, and then expose him for being some kind of a predator. Now, I remember at the time, she only took a day, so there was no exposing. But she was 16, and my take was like, listen, first of all, nothing happened. You guys were just like awkwardly talking on like a call, and you're 16, he's 20, so technically that's like pretty much protected everywhere. So I wouldn't sit here and morally chastise him. After that happened, a 15-year-old girl came forward and talked about how when she was 19, they slept together. It was in like California, right? And I have a whole playlist. You can go look at it. That playlist I was talking about before. I'll try to link it in the description. I pretty much stayed out of it at that point. I was like, I signal boosted her on my TikTok account. I had a different TikTok account at the time. It was my secondary account that had like 600,000. And I kind of was like, okay, I'm gonna leave it. Then he came forward, and instead of apologizing or something, he did this like really weird, like really long video, basically just like not apologetic, talking about how she asked for it, she was dressed a certain way, she was a this, she was a that, and then I, of course, I made my reaction, I went off, and I think it's still the most popular video on my Papa Gut Archives channel. After that, a whole wave of accusations started to rain in, and it was a lot. One was, and people showed a lot of evidence. There was, one person that just kind of came in and was like, hey, he was on this app called Yubo. He was 19. And, which isn't a big deal because he was talking to a 17-year-old. It's not a big deal at all. The problem is that, like, you can only talk to people that are under 18 if you're registered under 18. That's my understanding. So that's, like, a little bit of a red flag. But, like, okay. Then it came out that this guy was kicked out of his last college for sexual battery. So now we're really ramping up. We're ramping up the dial here. right? Apparently, this is what I interviewed some of the people from his his old college. He was like the RA or whatever, the like the floor or whatever, and he would like just open the doors and just kind of sit there, like wait for the girls to get home, weird shit like that. Then it came out from another TikToker that he had sexually assaulted her when she was drunk. She asked him for a ride home. She was drunk, and then he left her with bruises all over her arms and legs. Right? Again, all this information is inside of my that archive, the playlist. That's pretty much when he disappeared for a while. Pretty intense accusations. We're talking about some pretty serious shit here. Comes back a year or so later. Unbanned, or rather, he's not banned. His account stays banned, but he's not banned, right? And a 14-year-old girl comes forward. He's 21 at this point, and goes like, "This dude's trying to fucking talk to me." And she's like, "I liked him because I saw some of his stuff, and then I didn't realize that he was like a predator." And like, she showed the receipts. It seemed like it was very clear that he knew she was only 14. He was asking for some weird shit, and then she denied him. And I covered that as well. That's probably the most recent one. That's from 11 months ago. That's been the last we heard of EDP. Might as well be EDP, Gemini Official. I understand people are tired of it and whatnot, but I can still see why people like it's crazy that he has like the he doesn't have enough shame. I just don't know what kind of reformation you could have if you do all these terrible things, and then when you come back, he almost immediately tried to use his influence to try to talk to another 14-year-old girl. I don't. So to me, all that's happening is he's just getting better at hiding his predatory tendencies. Yeah, he shouldn't be on the platform because he shouldn't have the access to an audience of people who don't know who he is that he's able to predatorize. And same thing with EDP. So
severe evidence that he talked to minors, that he broke into chicks in his college's classrooms, waited on them to get in creepily. It is backed up by evidence that he sexually assaulted another TikToker.
Yep.
Had sex with her without her consent when she was a minor and he was not. But
I don't even know. I don't remember that part. But he's definitely the sexual assault part. She showed the bruises and everything.
But hey, let's forget about it and move on. Can we just move on from the pedophile? Guys, am I going insane? Am I going freaking crazy? For somebody that says, I'm Christian, it's surprising that you're judging and bringing up someone's past and bringing hate to them. Well, first of all, you are in no...
That's interesting.
Oh, you are in no position to lecture me about my Christianity, because you yourself are not a Christian and you yourself know nothing about Christianity. And then second of all, if you were an actual Christian, then you wouldn't be defending a pedophile. You would be trying to protect children from the pedophiles. You would be trying to protect
Jesus Christ, he's going to him.
Children from getting taken advantage of by Gemini again. You know what? Gemini Official, let the guy improve. Let the guy go off and fix himself. But my point is that he shouldn't be on social media where he's a repeat offender.
Well, yeah, because he might, again, the idea is that he might use his platform irresponsibly.
Trying to manipulate children again, because that's what he did. He's shown that he will come back on social media, that he will try to take advantage of his fans, that he will try to take advantage of other TikTokers, that he will try to take advantage of minors.
Yeah, I think, and I could be remembering this incorrectly, but there were moments where people release like DMs, and he was like kind of weird about, with like other smaller creators in like a way where he suggested that he would help them improve if they would hang out with him. You know what I mean? I don't remember the specifics; it's a bit fuzzy. But like he was just a fucking creep, bro.
The guy improve, fine. I'll give you that, okay? He's not in jail. He wasn't charged. Sure, justice system might have failed on that one, but, that's fine. They probably didn't have enough evidence to charge him, whatever. But there is hard evidence that he abuses his position as a creator to lure other TikTokers, fans, minors, whatever, people in positions of less power than him to have sex with him. And that's not okay. He shouldn't be allowed to be back on TikTok. TikTok banned this guy. So he is avoiding a ban by...
Yeah, I think the reason that he's not avoiding a ban,
being back on TikTok. And
so okay, because I know I know the logic to that because I just watched so much obviously this topic that I've been looking in very deeply, and I think he made a response video when he came back or some dumb bullshit. What happened is that they permanently banned him, and not just that, IP banned him, so he couldn't come back on TikTok. And then a while later, they didn't unban his accounts, but they un-IP banned him, right? That's what happened. So he was able to come back, and I think it probably had to do with the fact that there was no, they didn't have legal proof that he was a predator, right? And so they can't, TikTok felt like they couldn't do anything. But TikTok's very good at protecting young people. So
and yet he's back here scot-free because TikTok defends pedophiles. Tony Lopez still has an app.
Tony Lopez is just, it's different from, listen, Tony, this is what I know about Tony Lopez too. People are upset with me with this take, but I still gonna keep defending it. Tony Lopez at 20 years old was talking to girls that were like 16, 17, 18, 19, you know, and up. It's not appropriate. But like 16 and 20, like morally, what am I supposed to do with that? And like, I'm not going to sit here and virtue signal and be like, oh my God, he's terrible. I don't think a Curly is, but people have allowed this story to get out of hand. Like the dude was talking to like a 16-year-old when he was 20, and in his state, like that was the age of consent. It was a 4-year age gap, which is generally like socially acceptable. Even if you think it's a little inappropriate, that's more of a system issue rather than a Tony Lopez issue. That's pretty much it. I think one of the girls might have been 15, but he didn't know it. Again, I have a video called like, if you want my take on that as well, you know, it's been a while, but Papa Gut, Tony Lopez, blah, 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 blah. You could always just go take a look at here. Is Tony Lopez innocent? That's the name of the video, apparently. You know, this is where you can get all the information. It's a 40-minute video. I can't qualify everything. Profoundly different. Profoundly different.
A is not a pedophile, but she did assault Jack, right?
Yeah, Sienna May, not a great person. That's a whole conversation about sexual assault culture and shit. I've talked about that a few times.
She's still allowed to parade around in her bikinis around on the app. James Charles. Everybody forgets about James Charles. He's still allowed on social media. I feel like I'm going freaking crazy that everybody's telling me to just forget that someone was a pedophile. No, I'm not going to forget that someone is a pedophile. I'm not going to just forget it.
I wonder if he got this video monetized, huh?
And leave it in the past and say, oh yeah, okay, you're back on social media. That's fine. Live your life. I don't want you to live your life because you're a pedo. Am I alone? Am I alone in this thinking? People on TikTok make me think I'm freaking crazy.
I know, like, Curly is, like, additionally passionate about this topic because Curly and Gemini used to be friends. So, back on the app, when this shit first started, you know, it was, I told you that the 16-year-old girl tried to, like, trap Gemini or whatever. That started, and like I remember being on a call with a few other TikTokers talking about this topic. I spoke out about it. I'm like, listen, you know, at this time, we thought it was like 16 and 20. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think people are going a little too crazy. And then like I ended up talking to like Curly and a few other TikTokers, and like, oh, okay. And they were like, I understand where you're coming from, kind of a thing. So then when, you know, it turned out that there was a lot more to just that, people like, were very upset. They felt betrayed because they felt like they had defended him, etc. So.
I know I'm not crazy. I think I'm one of the only sane ones because I'm one of the only people that doesn't want a pedophile on TikTok. Then somebody said it would suck if you came out to be a pedophile. I've never talked to a freaking minor. I have a girlfriend who's older than me. I'm dating a freaking cougar. Somebody said, how are you not letting things go? That happened a year ago. It happened 2 years ago, actually. And it doesn't matter how long ago it happened because the guy is a freaking pedophile. Like I said, he can improve, he can live his life, but he shouldn't be on social media because he's proven that time and time again, he will abuse his position in order to have sex with people in less power than him. That's it. Point blank, period. I've talked to the guy one-on-one. He's weird. He is strange. I feel creeped out by him. And my vibes were right before all the accusations even came out. I was talking to him in a Discord call when everything was just starting and people were on his side still.
Oh, yeah. That was in that Discord call, too. I know what he's talking about. It was super bizarre. It was myself, Curly, a lot of other creators.
And then the thing about him assaulting somebody at like a TikTok Comic-Con, something happened, whatever. Then all that came out and everybody turned against him. But it's okay now because it happened so long ago, dude. Just forget about it. No, I'm not going to forget about it. I can't just forget that somebody sexually assaulted somebody. Nobody should forget, but you guys are making me feel crazy. Everybody's telling me I should forget. I don't want to forget. I want to protect people. You want this guy running around on the app? Go watch YouTube videos from when the accusations came out and go through every single thing that he did. It is a lot, and it is concerning. It's not okay, and it's concerning. It's concerning that you guys are defending him too. Please don't defend him. Please wake up. Wake up. We shouldn't be defending a pedophile. All right?
This fucking editor.
Alone.
Yeah, man. Here's the unfortunate reality is, unfortunately, it seems like nobody gives a fuck. And it kind of wears you down. There's only so much you can really do. And at the end of the day, you know, hopefully, history doesn't repeat itself. Hopefully Gemini doesn't abuse his power again. Or abuse his situation again. But you can't really stress yourself out about it, man. It sucks. So nobody gives a fuck, so.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.